What up, nerds? Welcome back to the Nerdy Narrative. My name is Leslie Smith, and today on the channel I'm going to be talking about my recent reading experience with Fourscored by Andrew D. Meredith. Fourscored is the second book in the Needle and Leaf fantasy series that is steeped with folklore, Slavic folklore to be more precise. This is a series I discovered by trying a different book, a different series by this author, and that book didn't work for me. But there was still something there, some sort of spark, which led me to try this other series by Andrew D. Meredith, which was an absolute hit. This has so many different things that I love. Found family, magic systems that keep evolving, world building done in such a way so descriptive that I'm able to picture it as if I am there with these characters watching this story unfold rather than just reading about it. I also really like this author's writing style. I don't know how to describe it other than to say it's very unique. It's matter of fact, it's not bloated with a whole lot of stuff that doesn't need to be there. It's just pared down to the good stuff of the story. And it is impossible to talk about an Andrew D. Meredith book without talking about how awesome he is at narrating his own book. The only format I will ever consume an Andrew D. Meredith book in, well, I won't say never because we know I'm a book collector, but what I can say is I will always have the audiobook. That will be my primary way of consuming his books and any of the books that he narrates. So if you're someone who enjoys or prefers audiobooks, then you're in for a real treat with this series, with this author. Let me tell you a little bit of what Fourscored is about. As a reminder, it is the second book in a series. It is the sequel to THRICE, which I highly recommend. That book was a 5-star read for me. It is an amazing story about this man, Joven, who has taken into his care this precious little boy named Leaf. Their relationship with one another is everything. It is just the found family in its most perfect form. I just cried because it was so sweet. It's such a relief when an author makes me cry because of something super sweet rather than killing off my favorite characters. I've had 3 books in a row where my favorite character got killed recently. So getting to read about Joven and Leaf, it was such a nice change in pace. Our story picks up 13 months after the events that transpire in THRICE. Joven and Leaf have been settled down for a while in one spot, just taking things slow, enjoying life, when another character from THRICE shows up named Slant. And Slant is a bit of trouble. It's not that he's always the cause of the trouble or the one that starts it. Oftentimes it just finds him, though when you think about it, it really does almost always start with Slant himself. At any rate, Slant shows up and it turns out he is on the run from this coven of Vedmak. Vedmak are people who are able to do magic, which is generally frowned upon. People don't trust those that can do magic. There's just this negative connotation on people who are able to do magic, and so generally people try to hide that they're able to do that. But these cats are the worst of the worst and absolutely responsible for giving the Vedmak the terrible stigma that they're carrying currently. After Joven and Slant have a brief run-in with a couple of these Vedmak, Joven decides the best thing, the smartest thing, the safest thing is to take Leaf and escort Slant safely out of the vicinity and hopefully escape this coven. In my written review, I compared what was happening with Joven's character in this book to that of Dr. Bruce Banner. Dr. Banner was accidentally exposed to gamma rays when he was trying to save his friend, which led to his transformation into the Hulk when he would experience great distress. Take away the science fiction element of the gamma rays and replace that with magic. The end result with Joven was the same: rage. It was so fascinating to learn about Joven's past and get some answers to some things that were teased in the first book, things that I had dismissed as being characteristics of this person finding out there's more to it, there's some magical manipulation going on, I am here for it. In the process of fleeing from this coven of Vedmak, Joven, Leaf, and Slant take refuge on an orchard, an apple farm. This is where a large portion of our story takes place because Joven, as is usually the case, finds himself helping those in need, which is another endearing quality that this character possesses. One of the neighboring farms has fallen victim to savage vandalism. This vandalism is on such a large scale that it risks damaging this farmer's entire harvest. Joven, of course, steps up to see if he can help this neighbor, also help the other surrounding farms, because whenever the vandals get done ruining this one farm, they may decide to target one of the other farms around it. So Joven steps in to see what he can do to help. That may sound like such a simple storyline, but Andrew D. Meredith does so much with it. He uses it to introduce new characters for us to love. An unexpected, I won't say that, I'm going to keep that a secret for when you read it. We meet a new race of people. This is the part of the story that is the richest in folklore elements. It's also where the author starts expanding the magic system for this world. This author just has a gift for storytelling, and I promise you the audiobook is the way to go. With all of the different people that populate the world of Balatar, Andrew D. Meredith gives them each their own voice, their own accent, tones, and inflection. It's so entertaining to listen to. After I posted my written review, which I will have linked in the description box below, along with the 2 books that are out in the series so far, I was talking with the author, and he is hoping to have the 3rd book in this series out by the end of the year. So be looking for that. I will be reading that one as soon as the audiobook is available, and I'll be talking about it here on the channel. But as for me, since the end of the year is so far away, I'm going to pick up the audiobook for Andrew D. Meredith's newest release. It's called Quaint Creatures. His claim to fame on this one is that it's a refreshing take on cozy fantasy, and I have to say my curiosity is very much piqued to see what that's going to be all about. But as I said, if you hit that subscribe button, you're going to hear about it as soon as I get finished reading it. Again, thank you all so much for watching. Have a great rest of your day, and I'll catch you in the next one.